Hello everyone, and welcome to another information technology lesson. In this lesson, we will be looking at word processing editing features, but specifically, we will be using columns. The objectives for today's lesson are: apply the use of columns, create a newspaper article from an existing MS Word document using columns, change the orientation of a page, use the find and replace feature to edit a document, create a page border, and apply previously learned formatting features. Now for this lesson, we're going to be using a few instructions. These are the instructions we'll be using. And the first instruction says we're to open a blank word processing document. So I'm going to go ahead and click File, New, Blank Document. And I'm going to have these two files on the screen, toggling between both of them. Now the first instructions after opening the blank document says we're going to be using header and margins. It says format the document to the following specifications. So I'm going to set the margins where the left is 1 inch or 2.54 centimeters. The right top and the bottom margins are 0.5 inch or 1.27 centimeters. And the line spacing is 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly. So for the margins, we're going to go to page layout, then margins, and this will be a custom margin. So we select custom margin. The top, the bottom, and the right must be 1.27 centimeters. Go ahead and type those numbers in. And the left must be 2.54 centimeters, so that one remains. Click OK. And the margins have been set. Now the line spacing must be 1.5. So I'm going to use Ctrl-A to select all, even though there's nothing on the page, to ensure that when I do place the content on the page, that the line spacing for 1.5 is set to the entire document. Now when I'm setting my line spacing, I go to the Home tab and I like to launch the paragraph dialog box. Here I'm going to set the before and after spacing to 0. I'm going to change the line spacing to 1.5 as indicated, and I'm going to check the box that says don't add space between paragraphs of the same style and click OK. So now our line spacing has been set. We can move to the next instructions. Insert a page header with the following: the anchor, bold the heading and use font style, Old English, font size 18. Insert in a header, insert tab, header and footer group, header. I'm going to use this one with the blue background. So I'm going to click where it says document title and type the anchor. Now I do not want the entire title to be in all caps, so I'm going to go back to the Home tab and I'm going to use the change case icon to change it to capitalize each word. And there we have it. Now we're told to change it to font size 18 and Old English. I'm going to type Old English here, press enter, and there we have it. That is our header. Moving along, set the page orientation to landscape. Now, page orientation can fall within two areas. It's either landscape or portrait. Portrait has the page tall but narrow, where landscape has the page short but wide. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we go to page layout, orientation in the page setup group, and then we're going to change that to landscape. So I'm going to zoom out a little so you can see better. So this is what it looks like when it is in landscape. I'm going to undo to show you what it was previously. This is portrait. I'm going to redo to bring it back to what I want it to be. Then now we are going to go to the next instructions. It says organize the page into 2 columns. So we go to page layout again, page setup group, we go to columns and we select 2. You will note, I'm going to undo and you're going to notice something. You're going to pay attention to what is going to happen in the middle of the ruler here. I'm going to zoom in so you can probably see a little bit better. When I go to columns and say 2, you notice that this gray area appears. This is the area between the two columns. So from 1 to 12 or so will be the first column, and from 15 onwards will be the second column. So now that I have set the 2 columns, I'm going to type the following heading from Puppy Love to Matrimony, the Hugh Langdon love story. Of course, I'm just going to copy it and paste it. Highlight, right click and copy. I'm going to go to the beginning of the first column and I'm going to right click and paste. Now, it says in the line below the heading, insert the file, editing features in MS Word, columns Puppy Love. So there's a document that I had previously that I'm going to insert into this document instead of typing a new article. Press enter twice, then go to insert. We're going to go to the text group. I'm going to widen this a little bit so you can see the word object coming up on the object icon. And we click on the object icon, click on the arrow, and select text from file. We're going to be looking for the document, which is this one here. I'm going to click on it. There are 2 ways we could do it. We could either double click on the file, or we could click on the file once and say insert. So I'm going to click on the file once and say insert. And it will now insert the article. At this time, you can now easily see that there are 2 columns on the page. It says change the font style of the heading to palette script. The color should be purple and the font size is 20. So to do that, I'm going to highlight the heading, title of the article. I'm going to go back to the home tab and change the font size style rather to palette script. So I'm going to type palette script, select it from the list. The font size should be 20. So I'm going to click on the font size box, drop down box, and select 20. Now you will notice that I didn't highlight again because the heading was already highlighted. And I'm going to change the color to purple. So in this case, the purple is already there, but if it wasn't there, I would click on the drop down arrow and select purple. I'm also going to remove this capital T to a common T. And there we have our heading. Heading looks a bit small, so I am going to make it a little bit bigger than the 20. Right, so it's about 26 right there. Okay, so now we have our heading in our article. Going to go ahead now and insert a footer with the caption established since 1967. I'm going to copy this text. I click copy and I'm going to go to the insert tab. I'm going to go to header and footer group and put in select footer. I'm going to select the first one, simple one here. Right click in where it says type here and paste using the clipboard. And there we have inserted our footer. Now to come out of the footer, we can either use the close header and footer icon. We can press escape on the keyboard, or we can double click in the body of the document, for example, in here. I'm going to use a close header and footer icon, and it will take me back into the main document. It says create a page border for the document. Select an appropriate border. I'm going to use a simple one. In order to do the page border, we go to design, and in the page background group, we click on page borders icon. There are different ways to do the page border. You can play around. You can use lines as a style. You can change the style, the line color to a different color. You can change the width to a thicker border. You can even use the artsy section. So I'm going to use a simple art border. Very simple one. I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to leave the width at 8. I don't want it to be too wide. Otherwise, I'm going to have challenges with the text on the page. And I'm going to apply to the entire document, hence apply to whole document. I'm going to change the color to blue because I'm working with a blue theme here. And then I'm going to click OK. So now we have set the page border. Then it says insert a page break just before the heading wedding planners. So we're going to just scroll down and look for the heading that says wedding planners. Now, because I edited, I'm going to put this heading back to the original font size, because in the original font size, it would then have the wedding planner on this page would begin. I would put the page break there quite easily. there should be a blank line there, so I'm going to put it in. And I'm going to click where heading planners is, and I'm going to say insert page break to put it on a new page. So now we have the article falling on 2 pages. All right. So it says locate the paragraph that begins with the afternoon ceremony and insert a column break. So I'm going to scroll down and look for the paragraph that says the afternoon ceremony. Now this is where the afternoon ceremony begins. Now you will notice it said a column break and not a page break. So initially when we inserted the page break, this heading here, wedding planners, was on the bottom of this page. When I inserted a page break, it put wedding planners on a brand new page. In this case though, we're inserting a column break, which means that we're going to break this column right here, and it's going to take this text and put it on this side of the right hand side of the page. So we position our cursor to the left of the paragraph, this ceremony, and then we're going to go to page layout, breaks, and then we're going to select column, and that will even up the page in a sense. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to insert a picture that was previously downloaded. So I'm going to put the picture here. So I'm going to click to the right of the full stop, press enter twice. I'm going to go to insert, then pictures, and I'm going to insert one of the pictures from my downloads folder. So this time I'm going to double click on the picture and it will insert it. You will notice now that the picture has pushed the previous text out of position. So in order for us to get it back, we are going to adjust the picture. So we click on the picture to select it. Sometimes persons adjust the picture by clicking at the top and dragging it down. That will not adjust it properly. They click at the side and do the same thing. That is not the correct way to do it. In order to have the picture adjusted proportionately, we use the corners. All right, so we click and drag in the corners. So I've adjusted the picture. I'm going to also change the style of the picture. So I like using the reflected rounded edges rectangle, but in using it, it also pushes the text off the page. So I'm going to make the picture a little smaller so that the text will come back onto the page. All right. So now we have the picture and we have the previous text back onto the page. Then we are going to now go ahead and use the find and replace feature. In this situation, the groom's name was spelled incorrectly. The article has Elaine and the name should be Alan. When we're using the find and replace feature, we use it because we have multiple occurrences of a word that we would like to replace with another word. So instead of scrolling through the entire document to find the word that we want to find, then we use the find feature because it takes less time. So to use the find feature now, we go to the home tab and we click in the editing group, we click on the find icon. It has a pair of binoculars on it. So I click on it and I'm going to type in the navigation bar. I'm going to type in Elaine and press enter, and it says it has five results. So having found Elaine, I'm going to now go back to the home tab, editing group, and click on replace. And I'm going to type the new name in the replace with box. Now I've done it previously, so it's there. So I'm going to type it in. And because we want to replace all occurrences of Elaine with Alan, I'm going to click on the button that says replace all. And it tells us we have made 5 replacements. Do you wish to continue searching from the beginning? I say yes. It has found no more. It says all done. We made 5 replacements. We click OK and then we click close. So if you wanted to find the word Elaine, you will see you couldn't find what you were looking for. But if you wanted to see if Alan was used to replace Elaine, then you will see that there are 5 occurrences. So you know that the find and replace was successful. Close the page, the navigation on the left, and now we go back. So the next and second to last instruction that we are going to do is to use, just to practice what we just learned, find Kamalam key, and we're going to use it to create a footnote. And here's the Text for the footnote. Kamalam Key is an oasis of breathtaking natural beauty, wrapping ocean adventure and island romance in the luxury of a private island experience. So I'm going to copy this in the meantime, and then I'm going to use the find and replace feature. So click on find, type in Kamalam Key, and it will find that one for us. So we won't have to search the article. Click to the right of it, or we could have highlighted Kamalam Key, and we go to References, tab, Footnotes, Group, click on the Insert Footnote icon. So a one will appear to the right of Kamalam Key, a line, and a one will appear on the same page that you created the footnote. And I'm going to right click and paste the text for the footnote. So a reminder, footnotes appear on the bottom of the page that they were originally created, and footers appear at the bottom of every page in the document in the case of established since 1967. And you will also recall that headers appear at the top of every page. And if you notice on this document, the header appears on both at the top of both pages. All right. So the next thing and last instruction, well, penultimate instruction rather, is to bold and underline all the subheadings. Example, right timing. So right timing is on the first page. We're going to go back. We're going to highlight right timing, and we're going to go to the home tab. We're going to click on the B in the front group and the U as well to bold and underline. I'm going to show you a little trick. Now imagine you had 100 headings to bold and underline, and every time you're doing one, you have to highlight, go to the home tab, click B, click U. A quick and easy way to do that is to copy the formatting from an existing heading that has the formatting that you want to use. In this case, I have already formatted right timing, and so I'm going to go to the home tab. In the clipboard group, there's an icon that's called Format Painter. I'm going to double click on it. Now we could click on it once, but I'm going to show, in fact, I'm going to show you how to do it. If I click on it once, it means when I paint the heading, I can only use the format once, right? However, if I double click on the format painter, it means I can reuse the formatting over and over, as in what I'm doing right now. And then when I'm finished with using the formatting, I will go ahead and deselect the format painter icon. Now, this picture is giving a bit of trouble and has jumped again back to the other column. I'm going to readjust it so I can get the text on the next page to come back onto this page. All right, here we have it. So I'm going to double click on it and change the wrap text to tight. And then I'm going to just move this picture over in the center of the column right there. And there we have it. So you can go ahead and save your file as new letter. I'm not going to save mine, but the procedure to save it would be to click on the File tab and then click Save. Or you could have simply gone to click on the Save icon, which is this blue and white diskette right here. And then you would navigate to where you want to save the file. And that would be it. So I'm going to go back. And that is the end of your article. I'm going to zoom out a bit so that you can get a chance to have a better view of the article. That is what the final product looks like. And I think it looks nice and neat. So now, if you have enjoyed this video, I want you to go to my IT Technocrats page, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more awesome videos.